Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful. So then we had the AJ Lee segment, and she came out wearing Becky's Intercontinental title. Place goes wild. They're chanting her name. They're chanting welcome back. And she does begin by saying, if you guys weren't watching 10 years ago, let me tell you who I am. And she says her name. She says, 10 years ago I retired. Felt like I'd accomplished everything. There was no way I was getting back in the ring, wearing jean shorts 2 sizes too small. I was sure, so I went on a journey, accomplished all these other crazy dreams, but I wasn't healthy. I needed to take care of myself. I went to therapy, she said, at which point the fans start chanting therapy.
Well, she more than just casually said therapy. She did it in a way to elicit the chants. It wasn't like the chants. These chants were set up chants. They weren't like impromptu chants.
She says, I found a way to turn all this mental chaos into a superpower. The fight is not easy. Every day is a fight. I wasn't doing good, or I was doing good for a long time, but then I watched Raw. And it's one thing to see my husband fighting Drew or Seth or Cena, but then I see him in the ring with Becky Lynch. And Becky and I thought we had a lot in common. Could have been friends, but then you had to go motorboat my husband. You put your hands on him, berated him, defamed him. So, of course, Becky's music hits, and she comes out. And she's got these preposterous sunglasses on, but they're there to hide a black eye. Mm-hmm. And she's ranting about her resume, and they're chanting, whatever. And she says, I need to go to therapy, and they chant therapy again. And she takes off the glasses. There's the black eye. And AJ says, get in this ring if you want this belt. I dare you to come get it. And Becky won't get in the ring, so the fans who were chanting therapy now chant chicken. And so Becky wants to know where Punk is, so the people chant his name. And Becky says, what kind of man hides behind his wife? So, of course, out comes Seth, and he says, I'll handle this problem. So he gets in the ring, and he says, we can make this easy. You just have to give Becky the belt back. And AJ says, I got a better idea. Becky, you either come in the ring and get the belt back, and I give you another black eye, or I will give you this title if you agree to a tag match. AJ and Punk versus Becky and Seth for Wrestlepalooza. So Seth tells Becky, hold on, I'll handle this. So fans are chanting for Punk, and he gets in the ring, and he says, I'm the world champion. It's my show. These are my people. You don't call the shots. I'm going to get in the ring. I'm going to get that belt. I'm going to give it to my wife, and that's going to be the end of it. And AJ thanks him for mansplaining this. So he gets into the ring, but she gets in his face. She won't let him get to the belt. And he, of course, has to pretend like he can't get it. And then Punk ends up hitting the ring, goes for the GTS. Seth slips out and bails. Crowd's chanting CM Punk. Seth is furious, and he screams, if you want a match, you got it. And Becky's flipping out because she doesn't want the match. And so AJ then throws the belt to Becky, and the match is on for Wrestlepalooza Mixed Tag. Yeah. They milked that for all it was worth.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
The match feels really big. I mean, this card feels really big.
We had another Bayley segment where she has vowed to make it right with Lyra. We still don't know which way she's going to go. But it certainly seems like she's going to be going heel. We had the Rusev versus Penta match. And honestly, this match wasn't much. And New Day and Grayson Waller came out. And, of course, ends up with Penta doing a big dive on everybody outside. And Rusev hits Penta hits a code red. Goes up top. Xavier jumps up on the apron. Penta boots him. Comes off the top. Eats the kick. Gets the pin. The usual.
Rusev kicked him.
Yep, usual shitty WWE finish. And really not much of a match either. We had Big Jim meeting with LA Knight. Want to know if it was an accident. LA says, were you watching? Of course it was an accident. And Jim said, we all have beef with the Vision. And LA says, who's we? I tried all of that. I got screwed over and over. Jay screwed me from winning the title. Years ago against Roman, you stopped me from winning the title. So I don't want help. I'm going to go out and do this myself. And he leaves. We had Nikki Bella versus Asuka, which was a weird match because Nikki still comes like from the tail end of the Diva era, and so she's got like a certain way of working. And Asuka's in there like, she's not like doing a stardom match, but like she's kicking the hell out of Nikki, and she's like going all out, and Nikki's working at a totally different speed. And finally at the end, Asuka waylays her with a series of kicks. Nikki hits an Alabama slam, but then gets her head kicked off. And Asuka puts her in the Asuka lock, and Nikki taps out. Submits.
I was surprised at the tap out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought maybe she'd go out or there'd be a pin or something, but she just flat out tapped out.
Maybe she's going to go heel. Maybe.
Well, you know, Dave, when they did that segment where Adam Pearce was talking about Stephanie and Nikki just saunters on in and goes, "Hey, what's the update on Steph?" I was like, why are you wondering?
Yeah.
So maybe they'll do an angle where like somebody attacks Stephanie and ends up being Nikki. I mean, she tapped out clean.
Mm-hmm.
And then later they had a segment where Nikki and Asuka got angry backstage, and Rhea shows up and asks if there's a problem. And Asuka gets right in Rhea's face and says, "Yeah, I got two problems, the two of you." And Asuka says she's the top woman in WWE, chews her out in Japanese and leaves. So Asuka and Rhea is coming here. Are you one of those youngsters today who listens to Spotify? I don't even know what it is. But I do know this. All of our podcasts are available at Spotify. You can head up right now and sign up. The easiest way to do so, f4wonline.com/Spotify. And for just $9.99 per month, you can listen to 84 podcasts on any given month. 84! 2 to 3 podcasts every single day covering pro wrestling and mixed martial arts. And if you think about $9.99 per month, that's just pennies per day. So check it out today on Spotify. That's f4wonline.com/Spotify. f4wonline.com/Spotify.